Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about the interview that Drew's sister Allison did with Make It Make Sense. Now, shout out to Make It Make Sense. I love his channel. I've been a subscriber for some time now. I love me some Make It Make Sense, honey. All right. So now that we've done that, if you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you know every single time that I post. Please also give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. Guys, I've been so tongue-tied today. I'm not sure what's going on, but I will try to get into it and dissect it for you guys. Okay, so let's get into it. It's about to get interesting. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll be playing the clip. I'll speak on it, and then I will talk about it a little bit. Then I'll play play some clips. So I have to keep pausing it throughout. This is something that we have to do because I don't want any issues with YouTube. I don't want any copyright strikes or anything. So this is what, unfortunately, we have to do. I hope you guys understand. So yeah, let's keep going. So I'm gonna play it.
Of course, you have to provide evidence. And
so just to give you some context, this is when cousin Courtney decided to join or show up on Kandi Speak on It. Okay, and so Mims is now playing the clip so that Allison can react. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see more of Allison's facial expressions, honey. You don't need to see my avatar. So Mims is literally playing it back so that Allison can react in real time. Okay, so pay attention to Allison's facial expressions, her face while she's reacting to what cousin Courtney has to say.
It's called Discovery, and I know that Ralph feels pretty confident about the discovery that he has. I have pictures of them on my phone, but I wasn't going to say that on camera.
Did you see that? I have pictures on my phone, but I wasn't going to say that on camera. Did you see Allison's face? She looks disgusted. Now let's keep watching.
Y'all should have left me in here with vodka. Now we see why.
You guys pick up what she just said about vodka. If you are the person that is saying Allison should not be drinking, but then you're like, oh, you guys should not have given me vodka or should have left the vodka here. Are you alluding to having some sort of issue with drinking, Miss Courtney? All is alleged on this channel. Everything is in my opinion and allegedly, honey. So please, before you all try to come for me, please.
Now, maybe that's somebody who should not be drinking, right?
What she say something about vodka?
You got it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be leaving me in here with vodka this long. Maybe.
Oh, so we was drinking a lot of vodka. Okay.
Maybe it was projection. Let me go ahead and.
Ooh, maybe it was projection. Allegedly. Please put that banner up, honey.
Is allegedly banner up.
Allegedly.
Maybe that's somebody who should not be drinking. Just my opinion.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
She was pushing so hard for that adoption.
Now,
she was like,
this timeout, guys. I can't lie to you. This is what part of the interview, the speak on it, that really annoys me. Maybe that's why she was pushing for that adoption. How are you speaking on the adoption of a child? What is your problem, cousin Courtney? Why can't you stay out of this mess? This ain't got nothing to do with you. Why are you so heavily involved? I just don't get it. It's just too much. And please look at Allison's face through this.
Adopt this child so I can go be in my gay lover relationship and you pay the bills. Well, I
have... Okay.
Woo. Well,
you want me to start or do you want to start?
This part was funny. I was like, okay. I'm just ready for her to get into it, honey. Get into it.
Ever think that anybody, because your nephew is underage.
Yep, completely agree with Mims. I'm not going to play that. You guys need to go watch the full thing. I don't want to play too much of the clips, although I do have a lot to go through. But I want you guys to watch the interview. I have to say, like, it was a really, really good interview. Also, it was good for us to get some background knowledge of who Allison actually is. And so I encourage you, please go on Mim's channel and actually watch it for yourself, even after I finish this breakdown. Yeah? All right, let's keep going.
Just my opinion, because I'm going to call it like I see it. Your nephew does not want to be on camera. He is now on camera because his parents.
And this is the thing. I think people just need to leave kids out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, the kid can't stand up for themselves. Now the kid is going to have to read all of these comments about this adoption situation. Now the kid is going to have to find out what cousin Courtney said about this whole adoption thing. You have to understand, when you say certain things, these things live on the internet, right? And so, like, it's not enough for you to just be like, oh, well, not much was. No, these things live on the internet forever. And so I just don't think it's fair for literally the kids to have to see that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And, I was very, very disappointed. But then again, am I surprised that Courtney, the same Courtney that is I'm honestly not surprised that that's what she's doing, because, like, guys, we've seen enough of her on this Real Housewives last season to know that she is a mess, in my opinion. Okay, so no surprise there.
Parents are on a reality show. Part of their storyline.
I'm going to just fast forward it a little bit because I do not want to, you guys to have all of Mim's commentary here. I want you guys to go and watch it for yourselves.
The cameras, so that someday, or maybe even now, your nephew will hear that. To me, was absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
Disgusting. And
100%. And this is what I was trying to say to you guys. Like, the thing with kids is, like, kids, they remember these things. They really do. They really, really do. And so it's not helpful for that to be the case. It really isn't helpful at all. And so in my opinion, I'm all for, like, seriously, no, that's unacceptable. That is not acceptable. But yeah, let's keep playing.
I said when I first heard it, was this girl don't have no friends.
Also, can I just say, this is completely slightly off tangent, right? Have you guys ever subscribed to a channel and then later on go back into the channel and see that you're no longer subscribed? How does that happen? Has that ever happened to you guys? Because that's what happened to me with Mim's channel today. I was like, yo, I'm a subscriber. I get notifications all the time. Like, what is going on? So I was quite surprised to realize that is maybe like the subscription thing took me off. If that has ever happened to you guys, please let me know in the comment section below, because I know I freaking subscribe. So anyways, let's get back into it.
She don't have no real friends. Ooh. Because if you had real friends, they'll tell you to go sit down somewhere.
Okay. Do you know what? Allison is so unapologetically herself. She's like, she ain't got no real friends. Like, if she did, and the thing is, I suspect, of course, I bet Courtney has some friends, right? But I get the impression she's going to be saying to the friends, you guys don't have the context. Production makes it all into something. You don't have the context. It's not really a reality TV show. I get the impression that's what is going to be said, so I'm not even going to, like, I just think it is what it is on that one.
And shut up. Oh. Put the shovel down.
Ooh.
If you, and she's on this like rogue tour of just
you guys pay attention.
Just running her mouth. So let me just quickly, because again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on my nephew either, because
yep. It's like she's constantly running her mouth. And that is the thing. It's almost like Courtney wants to go everywhere and talk about these things everywhere because she's trying to secure a peach. Because let's be honest, you haven't brought anything to the show but drama. And the drama is not even something where I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun, Shay. It's been low down, dirty gutter behavior. It's giving gutter Barbie, literally. It really is.
He's going to see this, and I don't want to have to perpetuate it. But first of all, Ralph.
Yep. That's the thing. It's like you want to respond, but then you also don't want to be part of the problem. You don't want to be the person perpetuating this and giving this life. So that when her nephew goes on the internet to look at it and then sees it, you don't want a situation where he's like, oh, auntie, this is how I feel. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to try and protect your nephew as much as you can.
Ralph, he has his last name. He always talked about adopting him.
That's interesting. I didn't actually realize that Josiah has Ralph's last name. That is very interesting. And also, she also went on to talk about the fact that he had always talked about adopting Josiah. And then pretty much changed his tune. So that's very interesting. I'm going to move that forward a little bit because I'm conscious that it's quite a long video and we still have, a lot to cover today.
Don't got nothing. I'm going to be real. First, let me just say, Courtney Rhodes, keep my nephew's name out of your mouth.
Okay. I'm like, she went there. She was like, Courtney, I don't want to hear it. Leave my nephew's name out of your mouth. I'm like, all right, Miss Allison. Okay, ma'am.
Or any child. That's below the belt. It is.
I love what she said. Or any child. That is very key. Because the thing is, sometimes you think like, oh, okay, it only applies to your child. No. Any child. It's a low blow. It's not necessary. There is no point in all of that. I'm going to fast forward that a little bit. So now let's keep going.
And about anything that has to do with his life. Mm-hmm. Disgusting. When
Yep, she's still talking about this whole situation with Josiah, which is fair enough. Like I said, it's a serious issue, so it's no wonder why she feels strongly about it. I feel strongly about it, and I'm not in their family. So, Miss Courtney, no, it's a hell no. Don't do it again.
When Ralph talked about adopting him, then he recanted that. Mm-hmm. So and Drew has money.
Yep. And here is the thing. This part I really want to play so that people can hear this once and for all, because I feel like people used to always, I saw a lot of comments recently about how they feel like, oh, Drew is using Ralph for money. I was like, guys, do you know who Drew Sidora is? Like, she don't need Ralph for no money. Like, she's been working as an actress for a long time, so she has money. So I was quite surprised that like that was a thing that people started like saying in a lot of like comment section of like different YouTubers that I would be watching. I'm like, guys, where are we getting this whole gold digger mentality from? This woman has her box. Like, she might be super humble, but she has money. Like, what are we talking about?
She don't need nobody to be adopting her child for nobody's money.
Yes, ma'am. Speak on it. Say it. That's exactly what I just said. There is no need for all of that. There really isn't.
She's been working since the age of 8, like I said earlier. 9.
Yep. She's been working since she was 8 or 9, which means she must have something. And also, if she's getting royalties, then she definitely would have something over time.
She doesn't need it. They're called residuals. She continues to work. Mm-hmm. She's got a movie coming out right now with.
Yep. And let's just say, one thing we never really see is that Drew is booked and busy. I didn't know she has a movie coming out and like other things that are happening. On Real Housewives, we don't really see all of that. It almost seems like everything is made to seem like Real Housewives is the only thing going for her, which I do not like.
Lil Wayne's daughter. She's got a television series she's getting ready to work on. I mean, the woman.
Oh, I'm very curious about this television series. I want to know more about it, but I guess we're going to find out soon. Well, at some point later on. But I'm very curious to know what kind of reality TV show she's currently working on, just out of curiosity.
It works.
And the past was good. I watched it.
Oh, and the past. Yeah, y'all
watched
check
it
out the
today.
past. My sister's an amazing actor. She was trained on stage. I trained her. She's had many other.
Drew is booked and busy. So we're going to fast forward this a little bit now. But yeah, Drew is booked. Oh, I don't want to miss that. Where did that come from? Drew is booked and busy, honey. Now let's get into this match.
He was trying to coach me to turn against my own sister.
Okay, so this is where Allison says that Ralph is trying to coach her to turn against her own sister. So she feels like Courtney herself was coached by Ralph. And the thing is, it's not even hard to be able to pinpoint that. And I'll tell you why. Because during the speak on it, she kept saying, Ralph said, Ralph said, Ralph said. Like, shut up. Do you have any thoughts that is not Ralph's thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts, honey? Like, everything is very Ralph said, Ralph said, Ralph said. So, of course, he's being coached or she is being coached. So I was not surprised at all to hear Allison say that. The thing with people like Ralph is they don't just want to be the only one that is at odds with you. They want to turn everyone against you. And they also care about public perception. So to them, if they feel like public perception is in your favor, they will try as much as possible to turn it around in their favor. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's he's literally making Courtney do his dirty work. That is pretty much what he's doing. He's using Courtney as a parrot, as a mouthpiece to say things that he does not want to come out and say. That's just the truth.
Can I drop this mic? No.
Oh, goodness me.
On
He
this
found the right
channel,
one.
we have a good time. My issue, because I've already told Allison when
I'm just going to move a little bit because I already know it's going to be a long video, so I don't want it to be too long.
I really like Drew. I did not like Drew.
Okay, so this is where Mims was talking about. Initially, at some point, he didn't really like Drew, and he didn't like Drew because of Ralph. He saw them as a package deal. He wasn't really feeling Ralph, so that was pretty much it. In a way, I feel bad for Drew because I feel like a lot of people feel that way, and it's sad because, like, I actually think Drew comes across as a lovely, sweet person. The way she sort of defends, and you can see that she loves on her family and, anyone that she claims that she's friends with. It's just a shame that she is a little naive, especially about the world of reality TV.
Worst way to start your Housewives career.
Okay, let's see what Means is saying here.
Or you are really married to a trash box. This is just my.
So this is still about Drew and how he initially did not like Drew, basically. So I'm gonna move that forward and see what Allison has to say.
Oh, so she got hated by default, huh? Well, let me tell you something, and this is...
Exactly. So it does come across like she was hated by default just because people did not like Ralph. They did not like her as well. But I honestly don't think she did anything to deserve that, personally.
I mean, my sister and I, we have worked together for 30 years. She has fired me many times, and I have quit. Like,
I thought that was funny. Sometimes when you work for family and friends or work with family and friends, you be getting heated quickly. So no, I completely get that. Like, I'm completely here for that. But yeah, I love how she was transparent about that. Like, she's fired her, she's quit. Fair enough. That's kind of like that happens, really.
Like, I'm not saying stuff because I'm her sister. I'm saying things because it is true. And when I think about their relationship,
do you know what? I can actually see that. So Allison comes across as a very transparent person. And so I think that that is what it is. Like, I don't think she's coming here because she's trying to clean up Drew's image. I don't think that's what it is. I think that she's just speaking the truth from her perspective. I personally believe that. Let me know what you guys thought of. For those of you who have watched this, let me know if you guys felt like Allison came across as being genuine, and being authentically herself. And if you're just joining the live at this point, please make sure you like, share, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Yeah, so let's keep going.
Relationship, I think about my mom has said something to us as girls, because they, my parents
And I don't know if you guys remember one of the lives I've done or did on this channel, and I was talking about how I feel like, because was it a live or a video? Oh, I'm not entirely sure, but I know I've spoken on this channel and said I feel like one of the reasons that Drew continues to take and tolerate Ralph is because she came from a family that is a two-parent household where they've been married for like 60 years or something. So that is what she's accustomed to. That's what she grew up in. And so I feel like there is that wanting to make it work. I want to get to the level my parents reached. I want to all of that stuff. And I think that's really what it is.
and the reason I'm really talking to, because as you know, my father just passed away, which
Oh, so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. And this is another reason why I feel like people are being very, very insensitive. As someone who just lost someone recently, I can only imagine if I was dealing with stuff so publicly and dealing with so many opinions, negative opinions, when I'm in a state of grieving or mourning. And so, like, I really, really felt really bad for her. And I hope, like, people give her some grace. Like, let's be honest, a lot of people have lied about so many things on the show. Like, for instance, I don't believe Martell and Shereé were together. Like, you guys, I feel like it was for a storyline. There was no connection there. This woman, Shereé, has literally said spring, summer, and September. No one dragged her for that. Marlo gave a fake LLC name and told us what her LLC was allegedly. Everything is alleged. And guess what? No one did anything. No one said they lied. No one called them liars, right? But you guys are like, it feels like the world is like holding on to one thing. Like, okay, she may or may not have kissed Latoya. Okay, like, one, on in terms of the gravity of what that is versus the things that other people have lied about. Like, seriously, guys, give her a break. Let her catch a break.
it's very hard, because our father was literally like, we all were daddy's girls.
Oh, and this is where she talks about her dad. And honestly, her dad sounds very, very like inspirational. It sounds like he's done so many things for the community. That's part of the things like we don't really see, but I was glad that she was able to talk about it. I will encourage you to go back and watch that. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to skip that if you guys do not mind. If you guys mind too, I'm still going to skip it.
Protects her husband, and that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Mm.
My parents have been married.
And this is where she talks about the fact that she feels like Drew was protecting her husband, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're married. I completely get that. I feel like a lot of Ralph and Drew scenes, it comes across as Drew is completely blindsided by Ralph and literally acting off script. It's almost like they come and they have a plan of what they want to talk about, and Ralph takes it completely there in a bid to embarrass his wife. I feel like that's what it is. It's so sad to see, and I'm glad like someone else is speaking on it, because it feels like now everyone is turning on Drew like they haven't seen Ralph gaslight her for all these seasons.
61 years. My mom has said we've been married for 60 something years, I think 61, 62, and that means we've been through some stuff. Well, she said the other word before she was pastor. We've been through some SHIT. So ain't nobody.
So you see, what I was saying about the family thing is like, okay, there is an expectation for you to stay or like endure the marriage and stuff like that. So I think that that is where she's coming from, because I don't get the impression that Drew would have divorced this man if he did not push her to that extent. I feel like she would have continued to stay in the marriage and persevered despite all of the things that this man is openly doing and privately doing to her. That's just my opinion.
Out here been through anything more than what my parents have been through.
Right. And this is the thing. So it's like when you grow up in a family where the norm is that whatever has happened in this family, you keep it indoors. You don't speak on it. You don't tell anybody about it. We deal with it as a family. Of course, that's what she's going to want to do. And that's what I get the impression that she was trying to do in this situation. Yeah. Let me just keep playing.
I'm not going to sit here and say the stuff that Ralph is on, but you keep, I come from a generation where you keep your.
And this is where it gets interesting, and I feel like this should give us some context into what Drew grew up around.
Your stuff in your household, and you try to work it through. You're in counseling. You're in prayer. My mom is in there staying.
And this is the thing. I feel like that's where it comes from. A lot of it is keep your family business in the household. And I think that's why, from what we're seeing, it comes across as she's not being very authentic and transparent about what she's going through. But that's the thing. If you're coming from that, where your mindset is protect your husband at all costs, protect your husband at all costs, you're not thinking, oh, let me out him, even though this is what he's doing is not quite right. You're not thinking that. You're just thinking, okay, my husband is a certain way, this is what I've been dealt, let me just live with it, and I think that's really what that's about, really.
At the house praying with you. And when he went to Tampa, I was on the actual phone with Drew and my mom was at the house.
So you guys remember Tampa? This is where Ralph disappeared. Still don't know where he went. And yeah, so the thing is, she's talking about how the Tampa thing was a real situation. She was on the phone to Drew, and then Drew was like, I think he left. And I'm just like, that is insane. Like, people need to remember these things and stop. Like, yes, okay, fine. She may or may not have lied about Latoya. Then what next? Seriously, what next? Like, can we focus on who this man is and stop giving him a pass?
Not for show. This wasn't anything that they planned, It really.
Right. It's not for show. And I appreciated her coming out and saying that, because I feel like people were starting to feel like, is a lot of the things that have happened between Ralph and Drew for sure. And I'm like, it must be so upsetting to be someone like Drew, who's a good actress, and everyone assumes that when she's being vulnerable or when she's showing a part of her life, people just assume that it ain't what it is, And I think that's just not right. I don't think that's right at all. But let's keep going. Let me try and move this forward a little bit.
And she lies. I'm trying to figure out where's the lie. I don't know. Can anybody tell me where any lies are? Like, I heard people saying.
And this is the thing. I was thinking about that as well. I was like, okay, everyone keeps saying she lies. And I'm like, okay, the only thing that I recall that is questionable is whether or not she kissed Latoya. What else is it that is making us call someone a liar? Right? To call someone a liar, that doesn't mean they lied once. That means that they have a continuous proven history of lying. So can someone tell me what else did Drew lie about? I'm not even saying it to be shady. I actually want to know, because from my perspective, I'm like, okay, the Latoya thing may or may not be true, right? I don't know what else is the lie that she's been caught in. Oh, okay, maybe saying something about the $1,000 wig, right? Now, that may not be true. That sounds more like an exaggeration, right? Yes, it's a lie or whatnot, but I don't think like that's something that, okay, we should not be like, oh, she's a liar because she said the wig was $1,000. It's I don't think it's that serious. So I don't think calling someone a liar because of that. I can't think of anything else. So if you guys know anything else, because I know there was someone in my comments recently that was talking about, Drew lies about everything. And I'm like, okay, girl, what she lied about? So if you are here and you feel that way and you're absolutely okay, everyone is allowed to feel how they feel, but enlighten the rest of us because I don't remember or I don't know. So let me know, let all of us know what else she lied about in the comment section below. Now let's keep going.
She didn't really break her leg. She really did. She really got injured. I was managing her.
Yeah, now, if anyone says she really didn't break her leg, like, seriously, like, what are we doing? Like, seriously, let's not start playing with people's health like that. Like, who in their right mind, like, something has to be wrong with you for you to come up there and come up with a good or terrible story about how something happened to you and it didn't. Like, let's cut the crap. Like, I really hope that people aren't out here saying that woman is lying about the issues that she had with her legs. Seriously.
Concerned about me. She was like, look, you not, this ain't sounding right. This is not gonna.
Okay, so I'm going to back this up a little bit because I want us to dive in a little bit about the mental health topic. And so I'm going to play this and then we'll talk about it.
Phone calls, but I wasn't in a mental state at the time to really put my mental health story out.
So just to give you some context, she was talking about she was in the first season when Drew came on and dealing with some mental health things, and she was on the show, but then they edited it out because she wasn't in the space then to be dealing with that, which is completely fair enough. And I think she is responding right now because a lot of people have been saying or feeling like Drew exploited her sister by bringing her on the show. And I'm just like, where do you lot get this from? Because, like, if I had a family member and I was on the show and I had a family member going through something that I thought would be able to, like, speak to stuff that other people are going through, that could help bring awareness, that could help do something positive, I will be like, God, I actually think this would be a good thing for you. What do you think? Is this something you feel like you're in a mental space to do? Would you want to do it? Do you have any interest in it? I would give them the option. Let them be the one to decide they don't want to do it or they will do it, right? I just don't understand why people are making it seem like, oh, Drew is exploiting her sister. Drew is this, Drew is that. Like, you don't have to like the woman, right? But think about it. That storyline with the also when she had her event, I thought was like one of the highlights for me for this season. Honestly, it was really good, positive TV. And I was really happy to watch it. So, if anything, I actually think that that was something that was much needed, on this season, especially how terrible the season was. We needed something to uplift us after the whole fake manufactured beef, in my opinion, right? So that we kept seeing. So, yeah, that's just, I have very, very strong views on that, but that's literally what I think.
So they actually deleted me out of the first season. So
she's just talking about how they deleted her off the first season. Let's move that forward a little bit. Just a little bit.
Concerned about me. She was like, look, you not, this ain't sounding right. This is.
So she was saying that Drew was concerned about her.
Not going to work for you. And so she was with me for 3 years in my mental health. She doesn't.
Right. And she's just talking about how Drew was with her for 3 years while she was dealing with her mental health things. And so, yes.
Doesn't need to exploit me. I'm a grown woman. I am here to tell my own truth.
Yes. And this is exactly what I was saying. Hate or like the woman, I don't think she's out here trying to exploit her sister. Like, she's trying to bring awareness to something her sister went through. And if you watch the scenes with her sister, you can tell it's that genuine love and support. And it was just very, very beautiful to see. So, like, I feel like people need to cut out the whole, like, exploitation thing. Like, you don't have to like the woman, but saying this one is exploiting her sister is too far-fetched, just too far.
And so where's the lies though? Give me one. Just give me one. Give me
Oh
one.
yeah, this is her still about the everyone keeps saying Drew's a liar, but it's like, where's the lies? I agree. Please give me a few of them.
That's just it. Drew, if you really know Drew, and there's she's got real friends.
And this is the thing. I actually really believe what she's about to say, and I'll play it for you guys so you guys can decide for yourselves.
And her family. Drew's one of the sweetest people. Like,
honestly, she comes across as it. I don't know why people may not see that, but I actually think she comes across, even on the channel, as not on the channel, on the show, as very sweet. Like, even think about it, even with the way she navigates, like when people kept bringing up Kandi, and because she was a friend to her, and even the way she was navigating that, also navigating the issue that happened in Kandi's restaurant, like the way she was handling all of that was something that would make you feel like, okay, this girl at least is a very sweet person. She's not out here trying to exploit what is going on with you. She's just trying to be a friend to you. Too bad that Kandi can't say the same, or Kandi is not doing the same.
It took a lot. It took a lot from being attacked constantly. You know.
Yeah, I want to speak on that. I personally think that Drew has actually been picked on a whole lot. I think that this whole season seems to have been an attack Drew, which doesn't make any sense, because if we're watching it, it just feels like Drew is the easy target, and people are like, oh, let's come for Drew, let's come for Drew. Let's accuse her of pretending to be an actress, because they know that's going to get under her skin. Like, imagine someone is in their feelings, they're opening up to you, and then you're like, unseen. Like, how ridiculous is that? Like, let's talk about it. How ridiculous is that? It is. I would be so distraught if that happened to me. I know I would. And I know whoever is watching this probably think about it for a second. And your friend is like, and scene, seriously.
You know, anybody that knows us in Hollywood who have worked with us, they love us. I mean, the brand for our
and this is a very interesting point. You know, it's only in the space of reality TV, I guess, that she's getting all these people coming for her and her character.
For some stuff we're doing, they used to call us Two Girls Against the World. We were just me and her. We get on the set, we pray before.
Aw, this is actually kind of sweet. It's giving me like sister love kind of vibes. Like, I wish I had a sister. I don't, y'all.
We eat, we pray in our trailer. We keep to ourselves. We get out there. They call her Two Take Drew.
I love it. To Take Drew. Yes, ma'am. That girl can act her butt off. She's like, To Take Drew. Okay. Let's give Drew an accolade.
She does it the first time. The second one's for safety. You know what I'm saying? She's professional. We were just on a meeting with a network the other day, and they were just like, oh my God, we love
you. Yep. And that's the thing. I feel like I wish we saw more of this on the show. Like, can we see her getting acting jobs? Can we actually see a few things the assistants do for her? Can we see more of her storyline as opposed to her and Ralph? And I feel like the producers, in my opinion, of Real Housewives of Atlanta feel like all we care about is drama. But no, we want a story that meshes well. We want to see a nice progression. We don't just want to see drama. We want to see other things. We want to see enough of the character. You need to flesh out the context of who this woman is, or who these people are. And I think that's what's missing with the show. It's like, there isn't really enough context as to who each person is. And that is causing some issues. And I feel like those are the sorts of things that they need to really show us on the show. And so if you guys are thinking of bringing anyone on the show, I need y'all to bring back Drew. I need y'all to bring back Kenya. And then you can decide who else you want to bring back. But those two, I feel like you need to bring back, especially Drew, because I want to see her transition from now having come out of this world, when if her and Ralph finally completely get a divorce, see how she would navigate being single. I want to see her book acting gigs. I want to see her do her job, and I want to see her progress in that. I want to see more of her as a person, as opposed to her in the marriage alone and then interacting with the girls. So I think that Real Housewives need to do better to flesh out each person's story by themselves as a character on the show.
You guys, but this show, and you can see me on there, it gets you to places you didn't know you could get to.
Ooh.
And
ooh. Okay, Allison, where did it take you to? I'm curious.
having your household, you know, and your husband going rogue and saying stuff on camera and just,
this is what I mean. Having your husband go rogue and say stuff on camera. This is what I mean. If you guys recall, I said I feel like Ralph and Drew had a plan, and then Ralph will go off script. That is the impression I get, because every time I look at Drew's interaction with Ralph, she always looks blindsided. She always looks shocked, distraught. So I definitely think they always have a plan for the scene, and then he comes and does something else. He wants a peach, literally. He reminds me of Peter Thomas. They both want a peach, in my opinion.
doing stuff privately and leaving, and you're still dealing with real life though. Like, you know,
So I'm going to move that forward a little bit now.
I know that he works in the tech business. I know.
Oh, okay, let's go back. I want to go back here so we can see. Mims asked Allison, does she know what Ralph does for work?
For a living.
I know that he worked for
So here she is trying to respond to that, and Mims is like,
Google. Was it Google? I know he's in the tech business.
Okay, so sounds like still in tech. If you all know what Ralph Pittman does, please leave it in the comment section below, Heidi. Let us all know.
I know that he works in the tech business. I know he does some really strategic stuff.
Okay, does some really strategic stuff. Okay, strategic stuff for where? Mr. Ralph, why not just come out and tell us what you do and where you work? But then again, he probably does not want the smoke that he's going to get. Because I know people who have smoke for Drew, but honestly, after Cause and Courtney came up, people now have smoke for Drew, for Ralph as well, honey.
Stuff where he has to sell to corporations.
Okay, so some sort of sales thing in tech. Yeah, I've heard about sales. They do make some good money.
About the advancement of technology. Like, it's not.
Let's just say Mims was not buying it. He was not buying it, in my opinion.
He was the OLG was his brainchild.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this.
That was in order. And so a lot of things, because he lives and works in a corporate environment.
Right. So here she's just talking about like how he works in a corporate environment, similar to what I said. So let's move it a little bit.
Her well, that's where I do my litmus.
Okay, so basically she's just saying she doesn't really care about like what he does, so to speak. All she cares about is whether or not he's treating her sister well and literally being a good father to the kids. And I'm like, do you know what? Fair enough. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, that's ultimately the priority to begin with anyway. So we're still watching it.
Had adversaries, everything that he wanted them to know about Drew.
100%. I believe this with all of my heart. Ralph, in my opinion, and allegedly, is feeding people whatever it is he wants to say but knows he cannot say. And I need Drew to wake up and stop protecting this man. Stop protecting someone who wants to leave you out to dry, right? Like, he is not protecting you, sis. So you need to stop protecting him. I need to hear all of the things that you have, all of the dirt you have against Ralph. You need to start spilling it because he is going through Courtney to do it. Maybe you need to appoint a mouthpiece that will do your dirty work. Okay? I feel like you need someone to do it, or do it yourself, right? Because, like, seriously, but I think of course she wants to take the high road, but it would be so hard to take the high road with someone like Ralph. I can't lie to y'all. Like, I generally like to take the high road, but guys, when I tell you, I probably may not take the high road dealing with a Nick like that. Okay?
And after the season was over and everything was filmed, he filed for divorce. That's just my opinion.
No, he had all.
I love how she was honest about it. She was saying that no, he was talking about divorce previously, right? And if anything, Drew filed the divorce because she was on the offense, right? So it's almost like, he's talked about, and then was mistreating her, right? And so she filed for the divorce. So I'm just going to skip that bit.
But it was just stuff that he was just doing, and antagonize and just bully, and it just be like.
I can see that. Sorry guys, I keep like fast forwarding. Literally, I have to go somewhere with my mom soon, and she's called me in between this live, and so I had to pause it in between this recording for the live, and so I know I have to go out with her soon, so I'm like trying to speed up to like the key bits, so like I can like show you guys and talk you guys through that and my opinions on that. But yeah,
it's insane. Like, I've not seen that. I mean, narcissism behavior, and
she talks a little bit about that. I'm gonna move on from that. And
Santa, me and my mom, we went out with Drew, and she said she wants us to meet Ralph's cousin because that's what.
Oh, this is where it gets juicy, honey. Don't worry, I'm gonna play this part for y'all, man. This is where it gets juicy. Are y'all ready? This is about Courtney. If you weren't paying attention before, I want to urge you to pay attention now, honey. It's about to go down.
He told her. And so we like, hey, cousin, and we were at this club. She was, like, I'm.
So she starts talking about how she met Courtney, right? So Drew introduced her as Ralph's cousin. And so it was Allison and Drew, and I think, was it her mom as well? And they all sort of linked up with Courtney, and we're at a club, right? I'm like, okay, Pastor.
Like, she was telling me she was already a housewife. She was telling people that was sitting next to them that was.
Interesting. Now, the reason why I feel like this rings true is because I don't know if you guys remember when she walked up to Kandi, like she knew Kandi, and how Kandi's acting like she don't know her. I'm like, girl, nobody knows you. Stop it. But anyways, let's keep watching.
Asking for pictures from Drew. Oh my God, you're Drew Sidora. They're taking pictures. She was like, well, I'm on the housewife too. Who says that?
Girl, that is giving I'm jealous that nobody wants me to take a picture. No, ma'am. No, cut it out. Yeah, Mim's facial expression is my facial expression right now. Like, what? Nah, cut it out. Cut it out.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a housewife. So we were trying to introduce her to this dude. I don't want to say who that is, but he had no interest.
I can't lie. I want to know who this dude is, but I know Courtney, Allison is taking the high road, so she ain't gonna tell us. But I want to know. If you all know, let me know in the comment section below. Who that man? Who is that man that they were trying to introduce to Courtney, and the man said, hell no.
To her because he probably saw something, the glow. I don't know. And so we kicking it. We thinking.
This is too funny. Like, when I tell you, when I first watched this, I was boiling. I was cracking up. Like, seriously, I was Mims, man. I was like, what? No, she did. No. Yeah, Mims, that was me.
She's cousin Courtney. And so After we leave there, that's all we know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I didn't see this broad again until like, I don't know, another event. I don't even know. Like,
right. So then after that, she didn't see her. But just to give you some context, another thing she did say, I don't know if I've played that yet, was the fact that Courtney kept acting like she knew all these people that they knew. Like, oh, I know her. Oh, I know her. I know her. Okay. Now let's keep going. I'm going to speed that forward a little bit.
they trying to go through the lineage and asking all these questions. I don't know. And nobody, listen to me.
Ooh,
he lives.
Sorry, we can't miss that. I'm going to back this up for y'all, man.
All I know is we went down to UG, which is North Carolina, where Ralph grew up, where they.
Okay, so Allison and Drew went on a mission. Okay, they decided to go and check whether cousin Courtney is really Ralph's cousin. Okay, so Allison said they pulled up to North Carolina, okay, to check it out. And so they were asking the family members and all that stuff, and they did not know who cousin Courtney is. Okay.
Claimed first, because the stories have changed, the evolution of the cousin tree.
Allison is so shady, but she is so classy with it. I am not mad at her at all. I'm like, yes, ma'am, give it to us. Give it to us.
That they were cousins. So me and Drew, specifically me, went around.
Of course. Of course. We know Drew is too sweet for that. Drew's like, oh, I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. I trust my man. Allison is like, I do not.
To all the cousins, hey, nice meeting you. Oh, so y'all know cousin Courtney. And I showed a picture.
Okay.
We don't know her. Who is she? Well, what's she? Well, who her peoples? You know.
They did not know cousin Courtney.
Oh, and they trying to go through the lineage and asking all these questions. I don't know. And nobody, listen to me. He lives in his little bitty town.
She said nobody knew Miss Courtney, honey. Miss Courtney, come to the front. Tell us how you are related to this man. Speak now or forever hold your peace, honey. Sorry, my earphones just dropped. Yeah, speak now or forever hold your peace, honey, Miss Courtney.
Where everybody walks with no shoes and they go from house to house. How don't nobody know you?
Speak on it. Oh, goodness me.
Okay, and that's where you say you were. So that was the first red flag.
Yes, ma'am. I want to hear what the next red flag is, honey.
Then when we met at the club, she was telling me she knew all these people in Chicago.
Okay, so here it comes what I was talking about earlier. Stay with me.
I have a lot of friends that are owners of this and this and that. And she was like, oh my God, girl, I know her. Oh my God, girl, that's my family. This.
Girl, how you claiming people as family and these people don't even know you? She seems like a groupie.
We were like jamming. Like, oh my God, you know my friend Melody, you know my friend Charmaine, you know my friend. I was going.
I'm gonna move that forward. So she mentions a few people.
I just stopped, went on about my business. Now, it wasn't until she called Drew or we found out about the bitch that she said.
Okay, so she talks about the B comment.
Drew was. And then I asked her and she said, so people who are listening and watching, as I heard some comments too, that.
Interesting stuff. Let's see what else she says.
Well, everybody calls everybody a bitch. And then Ralph said, well, you called her a bitch. First of all.
Okay, so this is her talking about the B comment. And she's basically talking about how she's never called Drew a B before. And if that was the case, Ralph would have said it since, which is fair enough because Ralph says a lot of things. Why didn't he say it ASAP?
Now, y'all know if I called my sister a bitch, the opportunist would have already said that a long time ago. Mr.
Yes. Well, bottom line, Courtney, Miss Courtney did not know, or they did not know Miss Courtney. Let's just say that, okay?
So her talking all this smack about, oh, me and my mental health. And
so now she talks about how Courtney is starting to like say a little something about her mental health and speak on it. You guys already know, so I'm not going to go into that.
She was going to stay away from me. And girl, stay away from me?
That's the thing. You saying you want to stay away from someone because of their mental health. Like, seriously. Like, that is a reach. That is an absolute reach.
Again, I have therapy. I have tools. I can help you. Like, I need to stay away from anybody that would speak on anybody's child.
She's like, I can help you. I have tools. I can't lie. She is shady and I'm absolutely here for it. Do you hear me? I'm like, what?
Anybody's husband. We need to stay away from you. And I particularly don't want to stay.
Oh, that was me. Mims was me, man. I was cracking all the way up. Cracking up. Seriously. She's like, we need to stay away from you. I'm like, okay.
Stand next to you because somebody gonna throw something at you and it may miss you and hit me. So
when she said that, I was like, what, Allison? Now you need to be on the show. Like, you are the golden pot we were waiting for, man. They need to give you a peach. What? That is hilarious.
The real gag, because you have a problem. You're not his cousin.
This is where it gets heated, honey.
And speaking on somebody's marriage, I've known, what was the other one she said?
It's like, sis, you've only been his cousin for 6 months. Allegedly.
Said, did we play that one?
I can play that one. Hold on.
Yeah, we got to get that correct.
I'm just gonna move this forward.
Trying to intentionally,
oh God, Courtney's voice annoys me.
Create these storylines that make him look horrible. Like, that's not okay.
You could tell.
Basically saying that Allison came on the show for storyline, okay? And that's pretty much the whole mental health thing is about storyline. I'm like, seriously, bro, that is too far.
Tell at that point that Kandi was uncomfortable. Like, you could.
Now, this is the part where I was like, Allison was like, everybody gonna get the smoke, honey. Everybody is gonna get it. Kandi's gonna get her own too, honey. Period. Literally.
You could tell Kandi was uncomfortable with that because.
And this is the thing. I completely feel like Kandi brings people on to do her dirty work. I honestly believe that, right? Yes, of course, interview people, let them speak, but I also think there is an element of when someone is saying things on your platform, right? Especially when it comes to like mental health. Like, it's not like someone just saying their little 2 cents. This is like mental health. Someone making a mockery of certain things. You shouldn't be in there laughing and giggling about it too. You're insensitive. That's really what you are. And if we're being honest, this is not the first time we've seen or noticed insensitive behavior from Kandi. That's just the reality.
Cousin Faith had came on here and said something. I'm sorry. I mean, Cousin Courtney.
Not Cousin Faith, Mims.
I mean, Cousin Courtney.
Right.
Courtney.
We ain't calling her Cousin Courtney no more. We changed.
Ooh, I love this one. Let's keep watching.
Jeanette.
Cousin Courtney.
Stop calling her cousin.
He said, stop calling her Cousin Courtney.
Cousin Courtney, she ain't nobody's cousin.
Ooh, she ain't nobody's cousin. Hey.
We changing that. We don't even know if she.
Ooh, Allison came and brought the heat, but she was very classy about it. Like, everything she said, honey, she don't need to take nothing back. She was really, really speaking her speech.
Courtney, like, we got to keep doing research. I don't know.
He said we gotta keep doing research. That is too funny. Oh my goodness.
She ain't cousin Courtney. Sorry.
I was uncomfortable with that.
I'm gonna move that forward.
They're so flippantly saying.
I know it looks like I keep